which is insane. They just fired one last week. You already knew this was going to happen, though. Everybody knew this was going to happen. If you want to jump in on the chat on the live show, we've got it right there for you. Again, we are changing up the way that the stream looks going forward. We'll have a different one for when Chris and I are together. We will have a different one, just all sorts of stuff. Pay attention to the website, winningcureseverything.com. Pay attention to the stream. Make sure that you hit subscribe. Share it out with your friends. We definitely appreciate that. First things first, Tunica, Mississippi is the South's premier sports gambling destination. They've got 6 incredible sports books. If you want more information on when their casinos and whatnot will be reopening, etc., tunicatravel.com is the website. Make sure you go and check it out. Do yourself a favor and get more information. Again, for us, winningcureseverything.com. We are redoing the website and whatnot. It is still up right now. Go check it out, though. Winningcureseverything.com, all of our picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms, etc. Make sure you are subscribed on the podcast. Leave a nice review. All those wonderful things. And I have to be on a conference call in 17 minutes. So, we're going to roll through this stuff starting right this second. First things up, Melvin Gordon signs with the Broncos. Now, they are going to pair him with Phillip Lindsay, and I think that that's a pretty good pairing of running backs. 2-year deal, $16 million with $13.5 million guaranteed. What I'm curious about is whether or not he actually got a better offer. It was reported by, I think, Ian Rappaport or somebody else that he got a better offer from somewhere else, and he wanted to stay in the division so he could play against the Chargers. Joel jumps in on YouTube, said, I was actually hoping Gurley would go to the Bucs with Brady. Yes, I do agree with that. I think they're probably going to sign Deion Lewis, but we'll see. Who knows, right? But yeah, Gurley with Brady would have been a lot of fun. But I do think Gurley with Drew Lock and with Phillip Lindsay in that backfield can also be a lot of fun. I like the Broncos team. I like their roster. Like I think there's something good going on there. But again, did he really have a better offer than $13.5 million? Because that would go completely against what he was doing last year by sitting out. It makes no sense for him to sit out for a bigger deal when he got nothing, this go-round. He only got a $13.5 million guarantee for 2 years, and he was sitting out wanting $27 million, whatever it was. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But, I mean, things can obviously change. Once you realize that the market is not there, that you don't want, or the market doesn't want you anymore, then yeah, your drive can change. What you want can change. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Melvin Gordon really did sign with the Broncos just so that he can play against the Chargers 2 times a year and make their life a living hell. But we will see. I'm sure there will be more about that story. Next up, Todd Gurley signs with the Atlanta Falcons. He's basically going back home. It was a 1-year deal. My question is this. Is Gurley or is Dante Fowler the bigger signing for the Falcons right now? I'm going to go with Fowler, I think. Obviously, Gurley fits in really well in this offense, I think. And the reason that I think that he fits in really well in this offense is it is much more open. Dirk Cutter got his running backs the ball in space a lot. So I think that he's going to do the same thing here. Matt Ryan has one more weapon to be able to play around with. We'll just have to see if Gurley can hold up or not. They're going to have to find a way to limit his carries a little bit, but they're going to use him out of the backfield a lot in the passing game, and I think it will make him ferocious on the field. So I do think Gurley with the Falcons is a fantastic fit. I do think that Fowler is a better fit because they need somebody to help shore up that defense. They started looking a little better towards the end of last season. Fowler, I think, helps shore up a lot of things on the defensive line. They needed more help there, and they got it. Gurley, of course, going back home. He played at Georgia. It'll be nice to be able to get back in some friendly confines instead of being out in L.A., I think. Next topic number 3 here. Eric Ebron signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The biggest thing about this is, one, it's a 2-year deal for, I think, $12 million, they said, and I think it's guaranteed. Ebron has done fantastic stuff with the Colts the last few years. He will be massive in Pittsburgh if Ben Roethlisberger does come back. And there was a big story. Roethlisberger's been talking to the media, says he feels younger, says he is throwing for the first time without pain in several years. This could be a big deal. This is a fantastic weapon for them to pair along with those wide receivers that they've got, along with James Conner. Steelers needed somebody that was incredibly consistent on the offensive side at that tight end position, and I think they found him. That's not to say anything against the guys that they had, but Ebron has brought it more consistently over the past few years. I would expect for him to continue to do that going forward. But yeah, if Roethlisberger comes back healthy, he and Ebron are going to be best buddies. Absolute best buddies. Next topic up, and we are rolling through them today, fellas. I apologize, but hey, wanted to get the show in, wanted to be able to talk to you guys, and still get my work done. So this is a crazy day. I got to tell you, we're getting set up for all online classes and whatnot. It's nuts. UAB has hired Andy Kennedy, and anybody with a functional brain knew that this was going to happen just as soon as UAB fired their coach. Andy Kennedy played at UAB. He went to school there. He grew up with the coach. You know, he was good friends with the coaches from there. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, we all know about Andy Kennedy. He was at Ole Miss. He was at Cincinnati. What I did not realize, he's only 52 years old. He spent 12 years at Ole Miss, and he's only 52 years old now after being out of the league for 2 years. So he's 266 and 169 overall. He had that 1 year at Cincinnati where he was the interim coach. I think this is a good hire. I think UAB is going to be able to do some great things. What he did at UAB or at Ole Miss is not indicative of how good of a coach he can be or how good of a coach he is. Ole Miss is almost an impossible job. It is hard to win basketball games at Ole Miss. Like, that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of it. I don't know. I never understood why people were so upset with how much Andy Kennedy won there. I mean, he almost won 100 more games than he lost at Ole Miss. That is saying something. He was able to recruit. He was relentless. His teams played hard. He rarely lost games he wasn't supposed to lose. I mean, it's the way it goes. I love Andy Kennedy. I think this is a fantastic hire for UAB. Fantastic hire for UAB. Finally, let's move into this. Saturday is UFC Day on ESPN. It starts at 11 a.m. Central Time, and basically just like last week, they are showing the UFC's greatest fights back to back all day long. I think it is a fantastic idea. They're going to have Diaz McGregor 1 and 2. They're going to have McGregor and Habib. They're going to have, Diaz and Masvidal. They're going to have, Bones Jones against Cormier. I mean, anything that you can think of, it's all going to be shown on ESPN all day. If you are UFC and you wanted a day where you could come in and really highlight, really showcase and market your sport to fans that typically otherwise would not be watching it, this is how you do it. You get all these names out there. You get names of people that, of the fighters that people want to see. You get their best stuff out there. You show exactly why your sport is so exhilarating and so fantastic, and why people should want to watch, why they can't take their eyes off of it, and why a big-time fight night is unlike anything else in the sporting universe, and you just toss it on ESPN all day long. You don't hide it behind a paywall. You don't do any of that, especially right now when everybody is at home. I'm glad that UFC and ESPN decided to do this. ESPN, of course, major partner with UFC going forward through the ESPN Plus platform. I think it's great. I think Dana White realized the value of the situation here and said, you know what, we can get in front of a lot of people that have probably never watched us, and they're going to see some incredible fights, and it's going to be great. I can't wait for it. I plan on having it on ESPN all day on Saturday while we are holed up in the quarantine, and we're going to have a good time. So that is going to wrap it up for today. Again, not a ton of stuff going on, but NFL is luckily keeping us alive, and we're out here still working, still trying to get everything set up for, when it really goes down. But we do appreciate you guys for chiming in and checking us out. We'll be back again next week. I believe there will be more that goes on this weekend. We'll have a lot to talk about on Monday. I appreciate you guys for jumping in, sharing the show out, making sure you're subscribed over on any of your favorite podcast apps, YouTube, Periscope, etc. Share the show. Check out winningcureseverything.com. Check out tunicatravel.com. And we'll see you all again next week. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and tweet at us.